Hello, hello, hello to the Wellness Solution Mind Body Home. How are you doing today? For those who are new to the group and do not know me, I am Reynelda Jones. I'm a mental health therapist and I also an acupuncture detoxification specialist. So thank you so much for joining me today. On today's video, I'm going to be talking about auricular acupuncture. So you can leave comments, questions down below as I talk a little bit about it. And I hope you don't mind. You may hear a little bit of music in the background. I have a radio station above me, which wasn't working, I don't think, when I first moved here, but they seem to be around. Hey, Tasha, how you doing? So first, I'm going to show you what is in my box. What is auricular acupuncture all about? So auricular acupuncture actually has to do with the ear. In my box is my little kit. I'll show you. It looks more kind of scary with all the different tools I have, but it's really, really simple once I talk to you about it. So of course I have my little safe sharps where I put all used needles in here, and then I send it on back to the health department. Little cotton swabs. This is to dab the ears um, after I've applied the needles. And then I have alcohol pads. This is what I give to my clients before COVID, but right now, because of COVID, I'm not doing this because it's a close contact procedure. So, but it's the alcohol swab. It is for the external parts of the ear. So you would have to clean your ear off to get any residue or dirt off. And then the best part are the needles. So my clients will see me have a pack of needles, and actually in here, hey Rebecca, hey Sade, the needles are in this pack. So I will be doing 2 ears, and the auricular acupuncture detox that I do is actually 5 points in the ear. I will give you like a close-up. Let's see, is there one that's... No, that's not one. I'll just open one. Oh, this one has one. Okay. I don't know if you can see it. It's very, very small. And the whole needle does not go into the ear. The only part that goes into the ear is that really, really, really tiny part. So the really tiny part. The rest of the needle doesn't even go in the ear. So if you have questions so far, make sure you comment below. Okay, so I'm going to put this all back in, and then I'll talk to you a little bit more about auricular acupuncture. I'm not even going to do it all fancy like. I'm just going to put it right here. Thank you for joining me today. So I don't have this picture, but I'm going to show you an example. So when I do ear acupuncture, there's only 5 points in the ear. There's point 1, which is crevice. Point 2, point 3, point 4, and point 5. So point 1 is the sympathetic nervous system. This is to help relax you. Point 2 is called the Shinmen. This is the spirit gate. Point 3 is for the kidney, lung, liver. Sorry, kidney, liver, lungs. Let me make sure I have that correct. Yeah, kidney, liver, lungs. So it's also known as the NADA 5-point protocol, which is for National Acupuncture Practice Association. And it's also called AcuDetox, which means you're using acupuncture for detoxing. And it's also called auricular acupuncture, which basically means ear acupuncture. So if you don't mind, I'm going to get a few of my notes because there's a lot of information about auricular acupuncture. But if you have questions or comments below, or even like say, hey, type in hey so I know that you're here, make sure you put it below. So we're talking about some ear acupuncture. If you have had ear acupuncture done before, let me know in the comments below. Let me know what your experience was. If you had some form of acupuncture, just mention it. I have a few common questions that I'm going to answer today too. But the auricular acupuncture is a specialized form of acupuncture. Hey! And it's performed by placing 5 thin, they're always sterile, single-use needles in the ear. And generally, the needles are left in for about 35 to 40 minutes. Now, if you were to get ear acupuncture done by me, I would probably do a 30-minute slot. It really depends on how long your session is. Ear acupuncture sessions could actually be done as individual sessions. They can be done in a group session, and they can also be done as a couple session. Um, but there's no really a right or wrong way to do it. Each practitioner has their own way to do that. But the purpose of the needles are to stimulate the external parts of your ear to alleviate other health conditions that are found in other parts of the body. The ears are said to be some of the earliest appendages formed when you are inside the womb. And so, because of that, the ears have the memory of a lot of the organs that are within our bodies. So, the ear is considered a reflection of your entire body. The ear acupuncture is done in an orderly fashion. It's very anatomical. It ranges based on the inverted fetus position, meaning an upside down fetus. If you were to think of a baby being born, the head is at the bottom, which will be the bottom parts of your earlobe. The feet and hands would be near the top, and the internal organs would be in here in the depressive area. Okay? And there are some side effects of receiving auricular acupuncture. I have not experienced these side effects or witnessed them, not any severe side effects anyway. But some of the side effects is local bruising, slight bleeding. Some people can experience fainting. A few people may have temporary pain, meaning like they may feel a quick pinch, but if it lasts longer than a minute, that may be the temporary pain. Most people don't feel the pinch longer than 5 seconds. And they can have an increase of some health conditions that they already had prior to having auricular acupuncture. So the NADA 5-point protocol was chosen based on Chinese medicinal theory and also with clinical findings and pain sensitivity. This was all research. It served to balance the body's energy and assist with the healing process of the body. They actually use the auricular acupuncture in many rehabilitation centers when it comes to substance use. They found that it has helped reduce cravings, and it has helped to become more driven and determined. And I'll tell you a little bit why later. If you are in the Grand Rapids, Michigan area, our medical facilities are now holding acupuncture practices in the downtown areas, especially in the building that's specialized for like breast cancer. They now provide acupuncture. Now, is it auricular ear acupuncture? I am not completely sure. I think it's more of a full body acupuncture, as they have found it to be helpful with healing, relaxation, anxiety, depression, and more. But that is available to people. I was providing this service for people who are not clients. You could get the service and not be a client of mine, but you could also be a client of mine and get the service. So because this is to be more accessible to other people. So here are some 5 points. There's a sympathetic nervous system and there's a Shinmin. And both of these are the first 2 points in the ear. The sympathetic is right there and the Shinmin is right here. Right here. And both of these are to produce calming and relaxation. The kidney, which is right here, is just the inner parts. You will notice, like if you were to look at a map of land, the parts that are mainly indented are the ones that we are using. Okay, but the kidney, liver, and lung areas correspond with what they call yin organ systems. These are the internal, nourishing, restorative, supportive systems in the body, and they store substances such as energy and essence. And in the Western culture, which is in the United States, we think of these organs for detoxing and eliminating fecal matter, urine, poisons, and metals out of the body and cleansing the body basically. So, any questions so far? If you have questions, make sure that you comment below. If you are just popping in, make sure that you say hey or you hit a little emoji to let me know you're here. So, with each point, because we're talking about auricular acupuncture, each point has 3 different levels to it. Each level consists of the body level, the mind level, and the spiritual level. Now, let's remember that acupuncture really is not something that was a Western part of medicine. It came from the Eastern parts of the medicine, parts of Asia, North African countries, and we are using them here. They have been mainly more popular now, but they have been here for years and years and years. There is research that shows that this has been helpful. They use it in substance use services, rehabilitation programs, weight loss programs to reduce cravings, to reduce certain mental health conditions. So just to name a few. So I'm going to go through each one. So the sympathetic, and I'm going to show my little picture. Sympathetic is the first point. It is inside. It's kind of like behind there, behind that ridge. And so for that point, as far as the body, it helps to dilate the blood vessels. It helps balance the nervous system, and it also helps with relaxing the organs. In the mind state, it reduces epinephrine levels for relaxation, and in the spirit state, it provides serenity and calm. Now, the next point is the shin min. If you were to go up here, you just put your finger like right in that little lower indentation there. That's the shin min. That is shin min. It translates to spirit gate. As far as the body level of the piercing for that, it alleviates pain, tension, reduces hypertension. With the mind level, it calms the mind, it relieves anxiety, it helps reduce depression, it reduces insomnia and restlessness. And on the spiritual level, it opens the connection to the spirit, whoever it is that you believe in, with the ability to love yourself and others more. It increases that. When we get to the other part of the ear, which is the kidney, it would be this ridge in your ear. And the piercing actually goes underneath that ridge, okay? And so the kidney point helps as far as the body level. It helps the body to stimulate the physiological and hormonal functions. And then mentally, with the mind, it influences your mental state. It helps relieve fear. And on the spiritual level of this particular point, it allows you to hear the positives more and accept them. It reminds you of what your intentions are. So when people are seeing that you're getting acupuncture, it's not just having needles put on you. You are working on yourself on 3 different levels: the body level, the mental level, and the spiritual level. Now, let's talk about the liver. Remember, the liver is the part in Western medicine that we look at as eliminating, cleansing the body. So the liver level would be, if you go to this part of your ear, it'd be right there. It'd be a piercing put right there on the side. And the body level of the liver, it stimulates the physiological and hormone functions and relieves muscle cramps. And I have seen this happen. In fact, I worked with a few people who've had MS, and one of the symptoms of MS is having paralysis in some of the muscles at some point, whether it's in the face or other parts of the body. And I have seen that this particular point has allowed a person to either feel in that area or be able to move in that area. And so I just love doing this auricular acupuncture. Okay, on the mind level for the liver, it helps clear your thinking. You can make better decisions. It can relieve frustration and it can reduce depression. But on the spiritual level, it helps you to find direction in your life and have a more internal connection with yourself. This is a very key component, especially when someone has experienced a great deal of trauma, especially sexual trauma. It's very hard for individuals who've experienced that to really connect the self because of what they've experienced. It's not something they chose, it's more of how they're dealing with things. But this can actually help with getting to know yourself better, getting to understand your worth a little bit. So I like that. That liver level is very good. Okay, so the next one is the lung. The lung is right here. That's the part of the ear that has an indentation. For some people, it is very sensitive right there, that little part. And I tell them, like, hey, just let me know if you feel a quick pinch. But a lot of people feel a quick pinch. Now, some say that that pinch means that your lung area in your body is not healthy. You may have asthma, you may have some other health conditions, but it may just be a sensitive part. You may be thinking too much about it, but that's okay. There's different levels to this. It could be telling us a lot of things. So the lung area is where the body regulates its pores. This has to do with skin memory, because remember, our pores are in our skin. On the mind level, it helps with the grieving process. It improves a sense of connection. It helps you to define and think more about self-respect, treating yourself better. And I have seen people who have suppressed some grief that they're experiencing actually become tearful when they start having the lung punctured area. And on a spiritual level, the lung area, that indentation right there, reminds you to connect to the heavens and provides inspiration. Any questions so far? So some of the questions I'm going to answer that a few people have asked me. Okay, how much of the needle goes into the ear? Only a slight amount, just a very, very tip of the needle goes into the ear, and it can actually stay in the ear that way. Now, if the part of the needle comes out of the ear, it is said that part of the body does not need healing or support. I don't know. It's up to you. The fact that it was stimulated by your peers is the part that we're actually looking at. It doesn't have to stay in there the whole time. So, are there things for people who don't like needles? Absolutely. And let me get that for you. Oh, no. Oh, here we go. So, these are little beads, little square beads that you can use, or you can use like celery seeds. Sorry, I think they're black radish seeds. I cannot recall because I do not have them. But what you do is you put them on the area that you want to work on. Now, if you are a person that's experiencing ADHD or high anxiety, you would actually put one of these. Let's see here. You can put it on the back of your ear. You see where this indentation is inside the ear here? So you would put it on the back and you would match it. Like that. And it will stick for about a week. It will stick for a week. You will feel the indentation. It will stick for a week. What you do though is you take it and you basically are doing acupressure. Okay, acupressure is something you can do on your own. So I teach my clients this as well after we do the acupuncture. You take it and you just You can massage it around a circular motion, or you can just squeeze it in the ear. And you go on about your business. You can do this with children too if you have a child, because putting needles may be a little more riskier, but you can certainly get the little beads or the little seeds and add them. They'll stay for about a week. You cannot feel them once you add them, and every once in a while you just take that, just pinch it or massage it. Now, if you are having difficulty with relaxing, something along those lines, what you would do is you would go to the shin min. Remember, the shin min is here, that little indentation right there, and you take a finger to the front and thumb to the back, and you just go in a circular motion, but with pressure, and that is acupressure. So you are actually doing some of these things. If you are thinking about having some pain, if you have some pain, like muscle cramps, then you would do the liver area. The liver is right kind of in there, and you would do the same thing. You can feel in the back because that's the part that actually kind of protrudes out, and you just massage it, but with pressure and squeeze, right? So when you're anxious, you can certainly just do this, and then just take a few breaths, or do it laying down before you go to sleep, and you may actually notice a difference. Okay, so that's all the information that I have today. But if you have questions after I log off, make sure to comment or click the emoji to just let me know that you were here and that you witnessed this video. I hope that I gave you some good information and some practical tips where you can start this on your own.